Hey you! Are you tuning in to MickyD's TV's second stream of the Quarry with no idea what happened in the first one, either through missing the first stream entirely or by watching it and not quite picking up the different intricate relationships that are occurring between all these characters? Well, I have the video for you. We're gonna recap everything that happened in the first one. Well, actually, just the important stuff. Let's go! Let's start with the prologue. So we're playing as Max and Laura. They're lost in the woods on their way to the quarry. Uh-oh, Max almost hit someone with his car. He swerves off the road into the woods. Then for whatever reason convinced that maybe they did hit the person. But obviously if they'd hit the person, they would have been smeared across the truck. Laura decides to get out of the car to go wander around while Max fixes the car, and she gets whispered sweet nothingness from a ghost. They get back to the car, a cop shows up, but he's kind of suspicious. He's got a little bit of blood on his neck, and he's like, "What are you doing in the woods, you creepy kids?" And they're like, "We're not doing anything at all. We're very trustworthy." And he gets a bit pissed off at the fact that she's avoiding questions. Max is avoiding the questions. And they're like, "We're trying to get to the quarry. Do you know where the quarry is, cop?" And the cop's like, "I know where the quarry is, but I'm not going to tell you. You should go to the motel. It's too late at night to go to the quarry." But Laura's pretty persistent. She's like, "I'm gonna go to the quarry anyway." The cop's like, "You do that, you're gonna die," but they go to the quarry anyway. And uh-oh, Max is dead. Cop shows up at the quarry after Max gets nibbled on by some monster and shoots Max in the face and then drugs Laura. End of the prologue. Now we're in the main game and we got 7 fucking camp counselors sending off the kids to the end of the camp. Summer's over and everybody's about to go home, but uh-oh, Jacob, he's a bit of a meathead. He's after breaking up with Emma, the hot girl, and he doesn't want summer to end, so he sabotages the truck that all the camp counselors are supposed to leave on so they get one more magical night together where he can hopefully convince her to suck his dick one last time. Let's go, Jacob! The camp leader or the owner of the place, I don't fucking know, is like, "Oh, this is crazy, this is bad shit, we gotta go." He gets in his truck, he drives off to go get help, and tells Ryan, who's kind of our main character, to not let anyone leave. Stay in the building. Do not leave the building. And Ryan's like, "Yes, sir, I will do that because I am the confident leader." And of course, they immediately break all the rules, throw a party, bust into every locked room in the camp, get guns, fireworks, drink, expired sweets, and just get fucking crazy with it. Let's skip ahead because there's a bunch of bullshit that happens. So our campers consist of Jacob and Emma, who had a summer fling together, but now that summer's over, Emma's not quite sure that it's gonna continue, given that outside of summer camp, they live 4 states apart. She's not really into the whole long-distance relationship thing. Jacob doesn't care. He wants to give it a try anyway, but he's too emotional of a meathead to properly get his words and his emotions in line. Then we have Nick and Abigail, 2 sweet little kids who are just fawning over each other in the purest way possible. But they are too innocent to really get in there and get down and dirty. Finally, we got Dylan, Ryan, and Caitlin. Now, Ryan's top dog, as we've previously said. He's got both Dylan and Caitlin going after him. Who's he gonna choose? We don't know. It's in our power, but we kind of want to get them, all 3 of them together. It's comprehensible. Finally, all the things have been put in place for a true game of truth or dare. Our camp counselors gather around a campfire to play a little game together, and it gets saucy fast. Jake gets upset when he's dared to jump naked over the fire pit and nobody lets him because nobody wants to see his schlang, especially Emma, and he runs off to cry. But before he can do that, somebody dares Emma to do smoochies with either Nick or Jacob. Jacob's like, "Oh, hell yeah," but Emma decides to rile up Jacob by smooching Nick. This pisses off Abigail, so not only does Jacob run into the woods crying like a little girl, but so does Abigail. What a bitch. This leaves Ryan, Dylan, and Caitlin all sadly soft and dry at the campfire. So Emma decides before chasing after her boyfriend that she's going to dare Ryan to smooch either Caitlin or Dylan. We choose to smooch Caitlin because we spent time beforehand flirting with Dylan and figure, let it all get even, you know? This disappoints Dylan. And then we're in the shit. Nick runs off to go find Abigail and gets into a big fight. Werewolf attack! Oh shit, Nick's fucked up. His leg's been torn to shreds. Abigail abandons him and runs for her life, saving herself in the process. Abigail makes it back to the campfire and Ryan gets his gun ready to shoot anything on sight, ready to kill a goddamn werewolf. Meanwhile, Jacob and Emma go skinny dipping, and once again, Jacob fumbles his words and pisses off Emma, so she swims out to the island on her own, and Jacob gets distracted by corpses in the water, and then decides to run off to go find Abigail because he hears her scream, but at this point, she's already made it back to the campfire, so all he finds himself is a big, bloody covered man who's bigger than him, who decides to help him out and cover him in blood for some reason. We don't know yet. Finally, Ryan decides standing around the campfire is not enough. He goes out to find Nick, and does, and in the process, finds the big, bloody man dragging Nick away by the neck. Nick decides to be a brave boy and bite that man's little finger, and the man, in response, shoots off his own finger. What the fuck? It's crazy! Guy runs off then and decides, yeah, fuck Nick. He's not that cool anyway. So Ryan and Nick get away, back to the campfire. Nick's fucked up. They decide they need to take him back to the building to get him some medical care, because Caitlin is the camp nurse. Meanwhile, Emma's on the island vlogging. She's having a time to herself and goes up to like this tower thing. Finally puts on some clothes, puts her whore skin away, and finds herself another goddamn werewolf. She's getting attacked. She runs out of the tower on the island, does a little loop-de-loop. Werewolf follows her, confused by loop-de-loops. That's what you do in a situation against a werewolf. She goes back into the building and locks herself in. Oh shit, the werewolf's trying to get in, but she's alive, at least. And I'm afraid that's it, folks. That right there is the end of our Quarry recap. Onwards to the second stream. If you dare. Look, it's an Attack on Titan cape. Yay!